All right, now let's go to Reading and continue this conversation with senior analyst with FDC Financial Derivatives Company, Dr. Adesola Sumoni. Been a while, Dr. Adesola. Thank you so much. Good morning. Okay, I think we'll have to wait a bit for him to join us. And let's see how many basis points he thinks that the MPC can hike rate today. But Dr. Adesola, are you there now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning, Ini.
Good morning. So, Mr. Adebayo just is looking for a 700 basis point hike on the MPR. What are you looking forward to?
Thank you for that question, Ini. I think at this moment, like you mentioned, there's need for bold action. And if you ask market watchers, we're expecting anywhere between 200 actually to around 250 basis points increase in benchmark interest rates at the meeting later this afternoon.
So the Naira gained yesterday, a good one. I mean, appreciated by 8.13%. Even though, yeah, we're still far away from our dream, but we had a little bit of appreciation. I guess we should celebrate those little wins. Do we know what drove it? Is it sustainable? Is it, just, a fry in the pan?
I mean, at the moment, it's the Naira, like is quite volatile at the moment, and markets are actually watching today's meeting keenly to get cues, essentially to set expectations, to anchor expectations. And like we mentioned earlier, the expectations of a bold move, and they're also looking at, apart from just decisions on the benchmark interest rates, markets watchers are also looking out for, and investors are also looking out for other measures or strategies by the current central bank governor and the Monetary Policy Committee to try to stabilize the exchange rate market. For example, we've already started seeing some the central bank governor is trying to pay up those backlogs, which is kind of restoring market confidence. But I think what investors are actually just watching is to see what are the plans to anchor expectation. I think that's actually what is going on. There are big expectations for this meeting, and we hope that the central bank can deliver.
Hope that the central bank can deliver. But, I mean, it's obvious that whatever decision they make today is not going to directly feed into the domestic commodities prices. That is still on an increase.
Obviously, we know for Nigeria that there's actually a weak monetary policy transmission between the monetary policy rates and then the impact on the markets. In addition, there's also a lag. But I think the biggest thing is just expectations. Like, Ini, we've not had a monetary policy meeting since I think July last year. And also this is the first meeting for Dr. Cardoso. So there are a lot of expectations. I think also we are already seeing some strategies here and there. We are seeing talks that, the central bank is going to increase the minimum capital requirements for bureau de change, which is hopefully expected to bring in some sanity into the market. So initially, I think that's just helping to set expectations might help stabilize the market a little bit. And then if the market positively views the strategies and the strategies of the central bank, then we might see some stabilization, and we might eventually begin to see some capital, some foreign dollars come into the country, because that is what we need at the moment. We need to set expectations. We need to stabilize the market, and then before we then begin to see some inflows of foreign dollars.
But I know I was having a conversation some time ago, and somebody said, well, there are some commodities that are locally grown, locally processed, and yet, we see it still being caught up in all of this hike in prices and connected to the exchange rate. And sometimes, it looks like, well, Nigerians are hurting themselves.
Yes, I remember the other day, many years ago, when I just started my career as an analyst, and there was, we're having this similar exchange rate issues, and I remember wanting to buy something like corn, and then the lady on the roadside said, oh, the price has gone up. I'm like, why? And she said, dollar. And I was almost asking the same question you're asking, that, come on, this is literally grown in your backyard. Why are you saying it's dollar? But in economics, we call it spillovers, right? So what is happening is the spillover effect of one, the subsidy removal, but two, the drastically and sharply weakening exchange rates. Year on year, the exchange rate has weakened around 70% on the black market, and we are seeing the spillover effects on other commodities or the indirect effects, and that is why we are seeing all other commodities, many other commodities, even domestic grown commodities, like you mentioned, are being caught up in this in the economic challenges facing the currency at the moment.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest news we had yesterday was your Onsaya report for reorganization, MDAs, and all of. Do you see that having a? I mean, because truth is, how old is this report? The realities of today, are they the same as at those years? You know, perhaps it will need to be touched up, you know, to fit into today's reality before it can make impact.
Indeed, the report is 12 years old, and I think one thing is true is that there's a need to streamline government. We know, we've been talking about it for time past, that, you know, government is too huge, it's too big. We have overlapping responsibilities, over duplications of roles and responsibilities, which not only increases the cost of governance, it actually crowds out investment. It crowds out, you know, investment in critical areas like health, education, infrastructure, and social protection. And so I think the spirit of the report is still the same, in that there is a need to streamline government. I mean, look at even this current administration. We have, I think, record number of ministers. Under those ministries, we have permanent secretaries, we have the special advisor, and this senior special advisor, technical advisors, you know, and all of that. So I think the idea or the spirit of the report is to kind of to merge those government parastatals that have duplicated, that you know, duplicate their responsibilities, and to kind of streamline. So in the spirit, it is positive. Whether that would work, because it may imply, you know, leaving some people of their duties, merging MDAs, merging ministries. Whether it would make any dent, or whether the savings from that would be you know, transferred to critical areas, I think that's a big question. Already we know there's a deficit of trust in government. So I think we will just maintain a wait-and-see approach to see if that makes any significant difference.
Yeah, well, you can say that again. Big question right there, especially because the executive has promised that there'll be no job loss, you know, so you wonder how they want to manage it. But thank you so much, Dr. Adesola Asimoni, for your time this morning, Senior Analyst with Financial Derivatives.